Have you ever felt like you're working hard? But for what? You show up, you hit your targets, you follow the process. But at the end of the day, something feels hollow, like you're moving pieces on a chessboard without knowing why the game even matters. Meanwhile, some leaders and organizations seem to attract insane loyalty. People don't just work for them, they believe in them. They stay late, they go the extra mile, they defend the brand like it's family. What's the difference? It's not better products, it's not smarter marketing, it's not even charisma. It's something much deeper. And Simon Sinek cracked the code in his groundbreaking book Start With Why. This isn't just another leadership book. It's a complete reframe of how humans actually make decisions, build trust, and create movements that last. If you've ever wondered why some companies inspire cult-like followings while others fade into mediocrity, this book has the answer. In the next 12 minutes, we're going to break it all down. The exact framework, the science behind it, and exactly how you can start using it today. Let's dive in. The problem nobody talks about. Most leaders and companies are operating backwards. They obsess over what they do, the products, the services, the features. They get pretty good at explaining how they do it. Better technology, superior service, faster delivery. But when you ask them why they exist beyond making money, they stumble. Sound familiar? Companies will tell you, we have the best quality. Our customer service is unmatched. We're the most innovative. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Everyone claims that. In a world overflowing with options, superior quality is no longer a differentiator. It's table stakes. Someone else always has better specs, cheaper prices, or flashier ads. So why do customers choose one brand over another? Why do employees stay loyal to one leader while quietly updating their resumes at another? It comes down to something we all crave but rarely articulate, a sense of purpose and belonging. We are biologically wired to follow people and ideas that make us feel like we're part of something bigger than ourselves. When that feeling is missing, no amount of manipulation, discounts, bonuses, pressure, or empty vision statements can create real loyalty. That's the game changer Sinek reveals. The Golden Circle, your new operating system. This is the heart of the book, and one of the simplest yet most powerful ideas you'll ever encounter. Sinek calls it the Golden Circle. Imagine 3 concentric circles. Why? The center. Your purpose. Your belief. The reason you exist beyond making money. It's the I believe statement that drives everything. How? Your values and principles. The unique way you bring your why to life. This is where culture and process live. What? The tangible stuff. Your products, services, features, and actions. Most people and organizations communicate from the outside in. What we do, how we do it, maybe, why we do it. Apple doesn't sell computers. They start with, we believe in thinking differently. Then, we challenge the status quo through beautiful design and user-friendly technology. Then, here's the iPhone. That's why people camp outside stores. Not because of specs, because of belief. This inside-out approach isn't just clever marketing, it's biological. Your limbic brain, the part that controls trust, emotion, loyalty, and decision-making, responds powerfully to why. Your neocortex, the logical, language part, handles what. When you lead with why, you bypass pure logic and create gut-level connection. People don't buy what you do. They buy why you do it. Manipulation versus inspiration, the brutal truth. We all manipulate every single day. Buy now before it's gone. This limited time offer ends tonight. If you don't act fast, you'll miss out. Even the childhood classic, give me that toy and I'll be your best friend. These tactics work. They trigger fear, scarcity, or instant gratification. But here's what they don't create: loyalty. Manipulation is a short-term transaction. Inspiration is a long-term relationship. When you manipulate, People follow because they have to, or because the deal is good. The moment a better deal appears, they're gone. When you inspire, people follow because they want to. They stay through tough times. They defend you. They recruit others. Sinek shows that the most successful organizations in the world, from Apple to Southwest Airlines to movements led by Martin Luther King Jr., didn't manipulate their way to greatness. They inspired it by being crystal clear about their why. The difference isn't subtle. It's everything. Why trust is everything, and how to build it. Trust isn't built through fancy mission statements or team-building exercises. It's built when people see that your actions consistently match your why. When a leader says one thing but does another, the limbic brain detects the mismatch instantly. We feel it in our gut. That's why do as I say, not as I do, never works. Great leaders create psychological safety, the feeling that we're in this together because we believe the same thing. This taps into our deepest biological need, the need to belong. For thousands of years, humans survived by forming tribes with shared values. In the modern world, our workplaces, teams, and communities have become our tribes. When a leader clearly communicates a why we share, we feel safe. We feel seen. We feel like we matter. That's why people will follow an average leader with a powerful why, farther than a brilliant leader with no why at all, the real difference between managers and leaders. Here's a hard truth from the book. Not everyone is meant to be a leader, and that's okay. But if you want to lead, or you're already in a leadership role, you must carry the burden of the why. Managers focus on the what and how, hitting numbers, optimizing processes, managing politics. Leaders focus on the why first, then help others see how their work connects to something meaningful. The best leaders don't need to have all the answers. They need to be clear on the destination and the reason we're going there. Then they create space for the right people to figure out the best path. This is why Sinek says, great leaders are those who trust their intuition and use data to support it, not the other way around. They lead with heart and mind. What happens when you ignore the why? When organizations lose sight of their why, everything slowly breaks. Culture becomes toxic. Innovation stalls. The best people leave. Customers become transactional. Leaders start playing politics instead of inspiring. We've all seen it. The once great company that now feels soulless. The team that used to feel like family but now feels like a transaction. It almost always traces back to the same root cause. They stopped leading with why. The good news? It doesn't have to stay that way. Your practical playbook. How to start with why today. This is where the book becomes truly actionable. Here's exactly what to do. 1. Discover your personal why. The 5 whys exercise. Keep asking why until you hit something that makes you emotional. Why do I do this work? Why does that matter? Why does that matter? Why does that matter? Why does that matter? Your final answer should feel like a belief you would fight for. 2. For teams and organizations. Gather your people and ask, why do we exist beyond making money? What would the world lose if we disappeared tomorrow? What do we believe that most competitors don't? Write it down. Make it simple. Make it real. 3. Communicate everything through the golden circle. Before every meeting, email, presentation, or decision, ask, does this clearly connect back to our why? Would someone who shares our why feel inspired by this? 4. Hire and partner. Based on why alignment skills can be taught, belief alignment cannot. The best teams aren't the most talented, they're the most aligned. 5. Measure what actually matters. Track not just revenue and output, but do people feel proud to work here? Would customers recommend us even without a discount? Do decisions feel easier because we have clarity of purpose? The legacy you leave behind. Simon Sinek didn't write this book to help you make more money, though that often happens. He wrote it because he believes the world desperately needs more leaders who inspire instead of manipulate. More organizations that stand for something real. More people who wake up excited about the impact they're creating. When you start with why, your decisions become clearer. Your influence grows naturally. Your team becomes a movement. Your work becomes meaningful again. The people who change the world aren't necessarily the smartest or the hardest working. They're the ones who are clearest about why the world needs them. So here's my challenge to you. Right now, today, take 10 minutes and write down your why. Not a corporate fluff statement. A real, honest, slightly uncomfortable belief that makes you feel something. Then share it in the comments below. I read every single one. If this summary gave you that aha moment, do 3 things. Hit the like button, it helps more people discover these ideas. Subscribe to the Lazy Capybaras for more no BS book breakdowns. Go by Start with Why. Or gift it to someone who leads, because the best leaders aren't the ones who have all the answers. They're the ones who make everyone around them feel like they're part of something worth believing in. What's your why? Drop it below. Let's build something real together.